Hey everybody, welcome back to FSP Forex Stock Predictions. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm the Vortex Trader and today we are on Euro USD in the 4-hour time frame looking at possible order block entries. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Right, guys, so as you can see on my chart, on the left-hand side of the screen, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, we have the 4-hour time frame. Okay, now look at the daily chart. I'm going to squeeze it and shrink it up really, really small so you can see the broader trend. Okay, and what can you see? Price is still bearish. Okay, there is a lot of crazy fundamentals at play across the earth right now, which we know. But our jobs as day traders, as retail traders, is to find setups on lower time frames, especially if we are day trading, and to take advantage of what these charts show us. So on the right hand side of the screen, I'm going to show you a short order block that worked perfectly, and then I'm going to show you a long order block that we are waiting for. Now, this yellow zone that I have highlighted here at the top, let me actually shrink this daily screen just a little bit. There we go, so we can have more space on the right hand side. There we go. All right, this yellow zone right here is actually an order block. It is a short setup that played out really, really well. Let me show you what I mean. This tiny little blue candle here was the last most recent bullish candle before we saw a further impulsive drop to the south. Okay, now this little candle is effectively an order block. And we can see how it played out really, really nicely. Look how price scalped right into that zone. It pierced beautifully into this zone and then broke away from that area. So price did respect this order block. And if you were going to enter this position, you would have put your stop loss. How I like to do it is put your stop loss a few pips above the order block zone. How do I find the order block zone? I take this entire channel and I highlight from across this recent bullish candle before the impulsive drop, and we go from wick to wick. However, because this candle is smaller than the average order block size that I generally like to trade, I also incorporate the 2 wicks next to it, right, on either side, because that is clearly acting as an area of interest, right? We had 1 wick touch the zone, it was resistance, came back in, formed the order block. Another wick touched that zone as a resistance zone, broke away, and now we came back up. So this was our highlighted area of interest, and we were waiting for price to come back in and touch the middle part of the zone, which would have opened up our short position, and this would have given us a fantastic, if we held it, over a 1 to 6 risk to reward. However, I always like to take profits on a 1 to 2, 1 to 3 minimum, which we can see we easily got with this setup. So that we can now bring closer. And this is what I do on my chart, guys. I like to take these zones. I use the color yellow whilst the order block has not yet opened, right? And the zone is just sitting there, and that shows me that we have a possible entry at play. Once the position wins, I take the yellow and I turn it from yellow to green. Okay, so we change this from yellow to green. There we go. So that tells me that this was a successful order block. All right, now we have another one at play that has not yet opened up, and we can see that in this yellow zone right here. I've taken this zone and I've highlighted from the bottom wick to the top wick of this most recent bearish candle before we saw an impulsive move upwards. Now this impulsive move took out this zone of resistance right here. Okay, we can see that this line acted quickly as support before with this candle right here. Support, a little bounce, came back up, bounced through it, came back up, treated it as resistance, came back up. We had this wick there, right? We had a big wick there, again, treated it as resistance, came back down, and now broke through. So this is an impulsive break through this area of resistance. So what do? I take the most previous bearish candle, I highlight it from top to bottom, I extend it out, and what I would be waiting for is a retrace back down into this yellow zone. And I would use the middle part of the zone for my potential long setup. Once I see price do that, I would obviously open up my long position and I would wait for price to carry on higher. Obviously taking profits when price hits 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 minimum. So this we can even drag just a little bit higher. And we always have to look left, right? We have to look left to see, do our targets coincide with areas of previous interest, right? With previous areas of interest. And we can see that this absolutely does, because what do we see when we drag out this line, which was previous support, flipped to resistance, resistance, and look at this, guys, we flipped it to support. So we can see that this is clearly a line of interest. So why would we not use this area as a target zone, which would give us a 1 to 2.5 risk to reward. And remember, we place our stop a couple of pips below the very most bottom wick of the order block. Okay, so that is our entry, and that is what I will be waiting for. Is there any further confluence that we can use to add to this potential setup? Is there anything that we can see? Well, something that I like to see is these MA lines crossing over, right, and indicating a bullish trend very close to the order block itself. And we can see that we have that right here. This little blue cross indicates just that. I like to see the MA lines of the MACD either below or above the histogram, but trending upwards, and we can see that we have that, right? Obviously going to see price switch over again if we had to come back down and retest this zone, which is okay. We have volume on our side. Finally, we have some bullish strength in the 4-hour time frame. So it will not be unusual for price to come back down, trend slightly down, meander its way slowly back into this order block zone before pushing up higher. So whether this happens or not is not for us to determine. It is for the trading gods to decide if that is going to happen or not. However, we just play the possible entries. So for now, we can set up a limit order, a long limit order, right? With our entry price being 0.966 around that price level. We have our stop, we have our target. Our target is a nice area of previous price interest. Yes, support, resistance, resistance, flip to support. We'd like to see this break this again and see if we can use this zone as a reason for a nice target. So until then, it is early in the day. It is Monday. Sometimes the markets do take a day or two to open up, to heat up, for it to start showing us the volatility that we know we can generally expect, especially from Euro USD, as it is the most liquid Forex pair. It is the biggest, it is the grandest. So this is a potential entry that I will definitely be looking at. All right, so on that note, let's see what this does, guys. Okay. So let's wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it, please would you go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Do you trade these order blocks? Is this something that you are interested in? Is there anything else that you would like to see from me with regards to trading? Is there anything that you are confused about? Should I explain something a little better? Help me help you guys. Okay. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will be seeing you all in the next one. See you later.